Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Now, y'all got to forgive me. I messed my schedule up already today because I had some meetings and I had to do. Y'all give me 1 second. Had some meetings and had to do a course today for a client. So that took up my filming time. So it threw me off. But one of you put this in the comment section yesterday, and I remember I did a video on this talking about wandering eyes, and this is one of the things that is always something that really gets some women, I would say, caught up in a tizzy and just really tight about it. And one of the things that first before we get started, remember, visit TonyGaskinsAcademy.com and see the new courses that are coming on November 29th. And the course will only be $29 a piece, but there'll be a bundle where you could just get all 7 up front, or you could buy the individuals that you need if you don't want all 7. So mark your calendars, November 29th, 10 a.m. Eastern. November 29th, 10 a.m. Eastern. Can't get them before then. And then you'll only have, 24 hours to get them then. So Friday, November 29th, 10 a.m. Eastern. Now, back to what we was talking about. Now, this is something that is a eighth wonder of the world. This is something that we'll never fully understand. Last night, I was at a soccer practice. I was at my 10-year-old soccer practice, and there was a lady who was standing out there, and she had on some leggings, and she had a little physique on her, and there was 2 3 men. And so whenever I see men, I always look. If I see a woman who dressed and got a little shape or something, I always be looking at the men to see if the men looking. And one of the things I noticed is that these 3 men, I didn't catch any of them looking. And what it said to me is that a man can guard his gaze if he wants to. Like, a man can choose to look or not. Now, myself, I am very, very observant. I notice everything. I had a speech the other day to give at a office at a corporate. It was a corporate speech. And when I walked in, the owner of the company was talking first. And the owner of the company was talking first. Give me 1 second. And the owner was, it was right in front of me. It was a guy, it was a table, everybody sitting down at tables, and the guy phone lit up, and I saw his phone screen, and it had my quote on there. And of course, he didn't know it was my quote, but I took that and I put that in my speech. And one of the things that a lot of times that women don't understand about certain men is some of us who, we're not looking at a woman and lusting. We're not looking around in the sense of like, ooh, I want hump and shoot a shot. But a part of a man is being aware of your surroundings, being a protector. And so we see any and every single thing. We see everything a man got on. We see a man whole body and physique, and we see a woman whole body and physique. We also see every little boy, every little girl, every dog. And so it's different when a man is looking around and he just observing and he paying attention. That's totally different than when a man is looking and you see him like staring at a woman and he turning with the woman and he watching the woman walk and she going, and then he got to snap out of it, or you got to see him watch her walk for a few steps and you about to have to pop him in the chin. That's totally different. Now, one of the things that you have to understand is that men, a lot of men, give me 1 second. A lot of men have, y'all got to forgive me. I'm in a new season right now. I got to do a million things at once. I just don't get the opportunity. My phone be blowing up. I don't get the opportunity to just do one thing at a time, just this season I'm in. So y'all got to forgive me on that. But it's when a man is looking at a woman booty and he lusting, or her breasts, or whatever it may be, her face, her stomach, her ankle, he is doing that in front of his woman. He's doing that intentionally. So every man sees everything. And I remember talking to one of my homeboys who is 100% faithful. And we be on the road, we done been on the road and all of that right there. And I remember he said to him when we was young, we probably was in college, and he was like, man, I'm not even finna stress myself of not trying to look at a woman that is pretty or whatever. He was like, that's just crazy. He was like, you could look and not touch. And it would be different if he said that and I knew he was like a dog, like a womanizer, like a cheater. And because I'm like, okay, well, that look gonna lead to something. But me knowing him personally, his look does not lead to anything. And he never shot his shot at a woman. And now he is married and he's 100% faithful. But it doesn't mean that he went blind and can't see. But seeing a woman and lusting after a woman and approaching a woman, that's different levels. And so what you have to realize as a woman is when you're in a relationship, you got to control the controllable. You can't control your man's eyes. And you have to really ask yourself, and this is the thing that a lot of times we turn molehills into mountains. Because what I started to notice is that when I'm out in public, I noticed that women notice men. So, and what if a man, because when I tell you women notice me from the back of my head, and I'm like, how do you notice me from the back of my head? And all you see is the front of my face on YouTube. Women notice me from the back, from the side. Women notice me from eons away. And I'm just like, wow, like this is crazy. Like, how did you recognize me? Like, I didn't even see you. Like it be women that I don't even see them and they be done seeing me. So that's where I'm saying it's very hypocritical of women to be so perplexed and so focused on what is a man looking at when you know yourself, you see every man and or every woman. And so that's what has evolved in me is to say, Tony, control the controllable, because I noticed, because my wife would always say, she would always say she don't recognize a man, she don't see a man, she don't look at a man, none of that right there. But then as I started paying attention, I'm like, she recognized these men. She seen that man's shoes, she seen that man outfit, she seen that right there. But I'm like, okay, me knowing my wife, what do that mean? She just looking around. She just paying attention to her surroundings. It ain't like she finna picture the length of his thing, because I know who I'm with. I know how she is. I know that she really don't have that type of sexual appetite for her to be like, look like he got a big thing. But yet there are some women like that. There are some men like that. And so this is the thing, to be honest with you, and I'm glad that somebody put this question in there, because the lady was saying she feel real disrespected. Her man be looking. It is disrespectful unless he has like a learning disability to where he cannot control it, like he doesn't know how to self-correct because he has a learning disability, then that's different. Specially abled, then that's different. But if he doesn't have like some type of specially abled, mental ability that doesn't allow him to correct himself or not look, then he is being disrespectful. What he is saying is, this is something that's going to bring him a little bit of excitement or pleasure or lust, and it's going to make you insecure and jealous, and in turn you're going to give him attention by starting an argument because he looked at another woman, which is one of the lowest levels of existence when you worrying about where another person's eyes is going. And they honestly could be looking at a short leg. Somebody could have a short the woman could have a short leg. The woman could have toe out the frame kneecap. The woman could he could be looking at how deep her cellulite is. He could be looking past her. And it just really it disrupts your position as a woman who can be seen as sexy and attractive and confident if you get that deep in the weeds of watching a man's eyes to see what he's looking at. That's an internal issue. Whether it's disrespect on his part or not, because yes, he could be being disrespectful. So you address disrespect. And if you keep getting disrespected and you stay, you don't get distance, meaning you don't break up with him. You don't tell him, hey, I'm not going to, although this seems like something small, this small disrespect that's being repeated is going to lead to something major one day. And if you have to look right in front of me, then that lets me know if I'm not here, you may actually go up and talk to her and shoot your shot. So I don't want to set myself up for failure. I'm not going to be with an immature man. And so instead of just keep arguing about it and fussing and fighting, then leave. Leave. And then you get with the next man and he does the same thing, then leave. Then you get with the next man and he does the same thing, then leave. And then you then ask yourself, okay, do I just keep leaving? Do I just keep leaving? If this is men and if it's going to take me leaving 99 men to find one man who does not look at another woman with a big butt or big breast when she walks by, do I just keep going until I find this other man? And the thing about it is, and this is what I try to tell women is that a lot of times y'all ask questions, but you don't really want the answer because you want the answer to fit inside of your narrative. You want the answer to fit inside of your utopian vision for a relationship. And that's just not men. Like men are human, men are flawed. You not really to find a man that does not look at a woman, does not see a woman. He might like men, but even gay men look at women. Even gay men be like, ooh, she got a fatty on her. Ooh, woo. Thing got some cheeks on her, some ham. My goodness. Woo. Look at that woman knockers. And he might be gay as all outdoors, but he's still observant. He still sees. So I started to realize too as a man, because it was certain part of me in certain times of my life where I was insecure, and I'm like, well, let me see if my woman lusting after other men. And I started to say, you know what, man, I can't worry about that, because even if she look at a man, I don't know what she's thinking. And then what is the benefit of me asking her, oh, why you looking at that man? You looking at that man? You say you don't look at men. Why you look? Because it ain't like she gonna say, oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, I was looking at him and it just caught me off guard. I was looking at him and I seen the size of his hands, and then I just started picturing the length of his Johnson, and I just was like, oh my goodness, what would that feel like to be inside of me? And so, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassed you caught me, and I will do my best not to do that again. It's like, is somebody gonna say that? So at the end of the day, we make ourselves look stupid and jealous and insecure and petty and childish by focusing on something that's so small, and we making it like, oh, that is so disrespectful. That is so disrespectful. Be that as it may, you got to control the controllable. And then you got to ask yourself, because this is the thing. People getting beat on and staying in relationships. People getting cheated on and staying in relationships. People having kids, they get cheated on and they make the relationship work. It's like, what would a relationship be? Like, how would we be able to have a relationship if we get to the point to where we leave based on what we think our partner is looking at and what we think they are thinking about what they are looking at? And so last night when I seen the lady, because she was, and I seen her just really in my peripheral because she was, her booty was probably 12 inches away from the man head who was sitting down in the chair. And then when I seen it, I was like, in my head, I'm thinking like, that look a little funny how it's sitting up like that. Like, is that some type of girdle, some type of faja, some type of that's interesting. So now imagine this what's going through my head. I'm not sitting there and thinking like, ooh, that booty look good. Ooh, I want that booty. Ooh, ooh, ooh. But I still seen it. And the same thing about it is like, and I noticed this even with men, is if you go on Google Kyle Kyle Lowry, Lowry, it's so many straight men that comment on Kyle Lowry booty. And they straight, but when they watching him play, it's just like you looking at he dribbling a basketball and it's like he got 2 basketballs on his back. And you just can't help it. Like you watching the game and you just see booty cheek. Yeah. And you trying to watch the game and you just like, will they get them man some bigger shorts? Like, my goodness. And I remember I had a teammate growing up on the football team named David Shavers, and he was built like that. He was built like Kyle Lowry. And it was a white boy on the team named Yano. I can't remember his first name. Emil Yano or something. He was like, dang, David, you got the whole ghetto. Dave was a black guy. You got the whole ghetto in your booty. Because you remember they used to call that a ghetto booty. And so what I'm saying is, it's like when it comes to these relationships, and I know it's gonna be a string of women. Oh, you making excuses. Oh, you trying to make excuses for your wandering eye. Oh, you trying to. No, what I'm trying to get you to understand is how we trip over ant piles because we making it a mountain, and how we disrupt our peace and our sleep by trying to control the uncontrollable. Because I guarantee you, if a man got on, a woman could be straight as all outdoors. If a man got on gray sweatpants and he got old meat print out there and that thing sitting up like a zucchini cucumber collaboration, eggplant notion, a woman might just see it and be like, my goodness, girl, that's indecent. She might not even be lusting. She might be like, what is he trying to do? What is going on? But guess what? Her man is gonna see that too. And he's not even into men. But it's just as humans, we looking around, we seeing stuff. And the reason why I'm touching on this too is because I've literally seen women fight their man because of what she saw him looking at or thought he was looking at. There are women who have fought their man in public, women who have gone off, going crazy. Listen, that is just a very low level of insecurity. I mean, high level of insecurity. Like, that's just a lot of insecurity. And you have to be mindful of that. Like, you got to look into that and you got to say, okay. And I'm going to tell you, if you've ever been insecure or if you're insecure now and you start to fight that insecurity, you're going to feel a burn in your stomach. You're going to feel a burn in your chest. You're going to feel a twitch in your neck. Your head is going to ring. Your ears going to ring. You're going to feel crazy. Like, you're going to feel like, what in the world? Like, what is going on? And it's just because your brain has been trained to respond to your insecurity. You are used to feeling insecure and asking an insecure question or making an insecure assumption. And I'm gonna give you a little secret. And I don't know if this works for women as well. I don't know if it does. But let me give you a secret from a male perspective. If a woman pretends to be oblivious to every other woman that's in the vicinity of her and her man, it's actually going to make her man pay more attention to her than any other woman. When a woman is so hypersensitive to what her man may possibly be looking at, it's going to steal her joy and it's going to make her unattractive and repulsive to her man because he's going to be like, even if I was looking, that is so insecure. That is so childish. But I'm not even trying to look, don't want to look, but we can't even hold hands and be at peace because she's so focused on every woman's booty. Every woman who have a booty because she don't have a booty, or every woman who got breasts because she don't have big breasts. Every woman who got this skin color because that's not her skin color, this height because that's not her height. And she's so focused that we can't even be at peace, be at joy. And every time we step out, an argument got to be started. Whereas if you sidestep the power struggle and your man could be looking in the vicinity that you think he looking at a woman, if you just go on about your business and you really hold on, y'all. My mama text me. And you just go on about your business, guess what? And you really process it, really think about this. Okay, he looked at a woman. Is he walking up to her? No. Is he staring at her? No. Is he getting her number? No. Is she getting his number? No. Is he going to be on the phone with her tonight? No. Is he going to be on the phone with her tomorrow? No. Is he going to sleep with her tonight? No. Is he going to sleep with her ever? No. Is she coming home with us? No. Is she pregnant by him? No. So when you really, this the process that I had to take myself through when I was dealing with insecurity, and I was dealing with insecurity because of the life that I lived. So I was waiting on what I sowed in my past to be reaped. And so I was overthinking, and then sometimes what I noticed with women is because you've been cheated on in the past. A man cheated on you past, so you're insecure. And then other times it's because you were a cheater and now you insecure, worried about it coming back on you. And so I had to start processing that and start thinking about like, okay, is this going to happen? 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 And the answer was no. So I'm like, why would I trip about something that has no consequences? Something that is inconsequential, something that I cannot control, something that I don't know. Like, we drive ourselves crazy over things that we can't control. Like if my wife is out and about and she ripping and running, she moving around, it's like she's not an unattractive lady. So I could imagine that at some point a man may shoot his shot. Now she wear a pretty big diamond ring, so that will deter it, but she might not always have a ring on, or she may just have on the little band or something. And some men might not care. They still may shoot his shot if he think he tall enough, handsome enough, swaggy enough, and he done slept with married women. He may not care. But if I sit, and I used to do that, I would sit and rack my brain like, I wonder if a man shooting his shot. I want to, let me check where she at. Let me see what she doing. Let me see. And that was just, I realized that I was still so young that I was still scared of, I was insecure. Like if I'm not doing everything, if I'm not talking to her the way I need to be talking to her, if I'm not treating her the way I need to be treating her, she may see somebody else, bump into somebody else, and he is super nice and he's super amazing. And then she gets super into him. And then I lose my woman. That was the fear. That was the insecurity. But when I got to the place to where I said, I'm going to do everything I could do in a relationship as a man, be the absolute best I can. And if my woman lust after another man, if she's staring at other men, if she give her phone number out, if she start to talk to another man, whatever she do, it will eventually come out. And I will be able to walk away with my head held high, knowing that I did everything in my power. So what I want you to do, and I'm addressing this very minute, small question, because this is the seeds. These are the seeds of the weeds that choke out our relationship. And we have so many divorces and breakups over small, insignificant things that we turn into a major issue, a major thing, when we could be moving on with our life and doing a whole lot better and have a lot more going on for ourselves and our relationship if we stop sweating the small stuff. And I remember as a man, and I've never been into pornography. So me looking around, I never could get to the root of why do a big booty catch my eye. I never could get to the root of it. I never could really understand it. But I also could understand, and I was thinking, I'm like, well, I don't lust after. Like, it's not like I want to go holler at her. It's not like I'm picturing her naked. It's not like I want to sleep with her. But why did that catch my eye? I don't watch porn. I'm happy with my wife. I love my wife, but why did I? And then I just realized is we have so much data in our minds and we see so much. And as humans, we nosy, we people watchers. But see, that little seed of a thing is what the adversary will take and play on. And so it's so many women that get so up in arms and get so upset about what they think they man looking at or what he is looking at that they lose all their peace, all their joy, all their happiness over something that is inconsequential. And that right there is giving away your personal power. And that's what you have to get to the place where you can take your personal power back and realize. And my daddy taught me this. He said, son, you cannot control a human being. He said, never try to control a human being. I remember I was with my ex and we was riding in the car and she was sitting in the passenger seat and she was looking out the window and a man pull up beside us and we riding 50 miles an hour and she make eye contact with that man and she stare at that man and he looking and then he honked the horn. Almost wrecked. That's back when my toxic days. Dope boy, 19, head trauma, almost wrecked. Almost wrecked when he honked that horn and I looked over and seen her kind of smiling, but she had a nasty little spirit on her and she from LA, you know, they pop pills, smoke weed, do all kind of stuff out there in LA. And so she had a different little spirit on her. I end up breaking up with her and broke up with her for my wife, Cherie. But think about that. I lost so much peace in that relationship. I lost so much just worrying about what I could not control. Weren't trying to control a human, trying to get a human, you know, to change. And my daddy told me, he said, never try to change a woman. If she want to wear booty shorts, if she want to wear Daisy Dukes, if she want to wear mini skirts and skin tight stuff, don't try to change her. If that's not your woman, that's not your type, move on with your life. Let her go. Because when you try to control a human being and you lose control of the human being, you will lose control of yourself and you start to fly off the handle. You will get verbally, physically, or emotionally abusive because you're trying to control a situation. Think about how losing control of an environment or a situation or a person makes you feel when you're trying to have all control. Think about if you're trying to control a classroom, you're trying to control a event, you're trying to contain a fire, you're trying to control an animal, you're trying to control anything. When you lose control, it's like your brain busts out of your skull and you just lose it because you're like, what's going on? And so in a relationship, that'll steal your joy. So you have to reframe your mind. You got to retrain your mind and you got to say to yourself, listen, okay, that's on him. Like if he want to look, that's on him. I'm gonna let him know I don't appreciate that. I don't respect that. That's disrespectful. And if he keep disrespecting me, I'm gonna have to make a move because that's blatant disrespect and I don't know what that's gonna turn into. Or you can say or you could just look at him and understand he just knows him. Like I done went through his phone. I go through his phone every day. I done went through his phone every week. And woman ain't never text me. Woman ain't never called me. He ain't never did. He just is a looker. He just like to look. Like God bless his heart. You pick and choose how you want to deal with the situation. I'm not saying, oh, just put up with him looking. If it bothers you that bad and you feel that disrespected and that really bothers you on that level, now I could see like, now if my woman was like looking at a man and she just watching him walk, watching, and she just, something like that, like, and then she do that every time we go out. Oh, I got to go. I got to go. But if I see her do a quick little, I ain't worried about it, because you know what happened. What I started to do is when I fell in love with my wife, I started to look at other women to see what shoes they had on, what purse they had on, what pants they had on, what jacket they had on. There are women that I have gone up to and said, "Excuse me, ma'am, could you tell me who made those pants? Oh, these are Louis Vuitton. Oh, okay. Excuse me, ma'am. Could you tell me what kind of watch that is? Oh, this is a Hublot, or this is an Audemars. Okay, thank you very much. Excuse me, ma'am. Could you tell me where you got that jacket from? Oh, this come from H&M, or this come from Zara. And I'm like, oh, because when I fell in love, it was like I started wanting to gift my wife and give to her. So if I seen a woman with something on that she didn't have, I would ask that woman. And sometimes I would be with my wife. And I'd be like, hey, look at that jacket right there. Look at them pants right there. I say, that's dope. I say, go ask her where she got it from. She's like, no, I'm not finna ask her. You ask her. I go ask her. And see, that's what I'm trying to tell you, is that it ain't a one size fits all. But when you insecure, when you've been cheated on and you have not healed, or when you've been a liar and a deceiver or a manipulator or a cheater or an eye gazer, a luster, and you haven't healed, that type of stuff could bother you and stoke you and all of that. So get this in your spirit. Let me upload this. I got to go because I got to coach in 30 minutes, but I need to get to my location because I got to coach from there because I got another meeting after that. And so I got to go. Y'all forgive me. I only got to do 32 minutes a day. Forgive me. And I got to make a quick phone call right quick to my homeboy. So y'all please forgive me. The day got away from me. I'm going to try to do better tomorrow. God bless you. We'll talk soon. Get on over to Tony Gaskins Academy and make sure that you can get that in your spirit over there. And I had that up there. TonyGaskins God bless you. See what's coming November 29th. Set your calendar, 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll talk soon.